On the screen. So, anyways, if you have any thoughts about it throughout the cast, feel free to drop something in chat. It's talk amongst yourselves while watching our pretty awesome games. But
In the
we're gonna
meantime,
get rolling with the
welcome.
reason we're here. Welcome.
Welcome to StarCraft 2 Community Team League. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. This is what does SC2CTL stand for?
That would be StarCraft 2 Community Team
And
League.
by the way, when I'm looking over this, I'm looking at Nick. He's on my screen over here. So
Oh,
I felt like I was making eye contact with you, Nick.
well, I am your camera.
Yep. So we are going to be your casters tonight. I am Wingnut SC, and my partner here is.
Allegation.
We have been casting now local events. This isn't really local, but we've been casting. We're from Michigan, casting local events around here for a little over a year now, and got involved and interested in SC2CTL, and so far it's been pretty awesome. We're into week 4 of competition now, pool stage 2, and the matches have been pretty awesome.
Absolutely. They've been incredibly phenomenal. A lot of really talented players who you might not have heard of, but guaranteed you will at some point. A lot of these players are playing in a lot of places that you've heard of, WCS qualifiers and MLG open brackets, things like that. They are competing. They're getting decently far, and they just get taken out by somebody that you almost certainly have heard of. But it's just kind of the roll of the dice in a lot of these situations. So it's just a matter of time before they break out, and you're going to see them here first.
Absolutely. We've definitely casted a lot of people that will. It's actually surprising the number of teams in the SC2CTL that have very top-notch players that have either been on, big-time pro teams or are headed there. So it's been pretty cool to hear the team's history. And on that note, as we cast these teams, as we cast these games, we've been contacting the teams, contacting the players to try and get a little information about them. So our first game is going to be between Team Gravity and Team Eternal Dreamers. Two fairly new teams. I think Eternal Dreamers has only been around about 3 months, and Team Gravity has not been around all that long either. So do go out and do them a favor and follow them on Twitter. It's at Team Gravity SC2 and at Eternal Dreamers. Fairly simple. Do look it up. I don't know why, but when I was searching, I couldn't actually find them. But when I tagged them in my tweets, they did show up right. Also, follow at WingNetSC and at Gallegation. And when we post about these or tweet about these casts, you can go ahead and retweet those and also follow the teams that we are casting. But the first game is going to be between Stoic, David, and Baldwin. Do we have any information on those guys?
We absolutely do. I've got Baldwin from Eternal Dreamers. He's an 18-year-old player, so young. He actually started out with competitive Halo and switched to StarCraft in 2011. So he began playing StarCraft because he was competing in Halo at an MLG event and saw StarCraft being played adjacent to him and thought it looked really cool and became really interested in the game, so he started playing. It's his first RTS, and he started out in bronze, like a lot of us have, but has been playing and improving consistently. He's been working his way up, and he's getting close to Grandmaster. He's been playing at MLG Columbus in 2011 and 2012, and he got deep-ish into the 2012 losers bracket before getting knocked out. Let's see, our other is Stoic David.
Team Gravity.
From Gravity. I do not think I have a...
Yeah, Gravity was missing
from,
one of the bios of one of their players.
Yeah, that would be... that would probably be Stoic David then, because I don't have him on my bio sheet.
All right, well, we are ready to get started. Things to look forward to in the cast tonight. There are some cool prizes that we give out. This week is going to be a pack of Dragon's Maze Magic the Gathering cards. So as the broadcast goes on tonight, we're going to give you 2 codes to enter for winning that awesome prize. The previous prize was the original crayon drawing for the StarCraft 2 Community Team League, and I believe someone won that off of the Week 2 code.
Yep,
so
they sure did.
It's going to be pretty awesome. Go to sc2ctl.com/code and register on the site so you're ready. We'll probably give you 1 code about halfway through and 1 towards the end. So this is a best of 9 series, so there's going to be at least 5 games. So we'll say give you 1 code after game 3 and maybe 1 code after game 5. How's that sound?
Works for me.
All right, and if you're not familiar with the format of the league, it is a, as I said, best of 9 King of the Hill type format. A team kill is also an option. So when these players go into this, each team puts up a player. The winner will continue on, and the team that lost will put out another player to try and topple the giant that beat them. So it's possible for one player to go through and kill every opponent the other team goes out, and that will
Quite a feat, though.
That is quite a feat, and there are prizes for that. There's some cool achievements in the league. One is there's a prize for cheesing, a prize for what are the other ones?
Well, there's the all-team kill, like we mentioned. Those are the 2 that I know.
Yeah. So
at any rate, if you're interested in the full tournament details, just head on over to SC2CTL.com, and you can find tournaments up in the top bar, and all the tournament rules and accolades will be listed there for you to peruse at your leisure.
Absolutely. So as we get ready to jump into this game, say hi to us in chat. If there's any feedback you have, definitely tell us rather than just dealing with something that's driving you crazy. We'd be happy to try and fix it if we can. Both positive
driving me crazy.
Positive and negative feedback are perfectly accepted.
Yes.
So with that, let's jump into this game.
It's driving me crazy that we're not in this game yet.
Let's get in the game.
Yes.
So game 1 is going to be on Neoplanet S. Where in the mother loving crap are my overlays? There we go.
All right.
Neoplanet S is going to be our first map. Zerg versus Zerg. In the lower left-hand corner, we have our teal-colored Zerg. It is going to be from Team Gravity. His name is Stoic David.
And in the top right, representing Team Eternal Dreamers, in the blue trunks, it is Baldwin.
ZVZ. I'm not a Zerg player. I played Zerg a little bit in Wings of Liberty. Also played it a little bit in Heart of the Swarm. Primarily Protoss. Zerg versus Zerg, however, was not my favorite matchup. It seemed even less awesome to me than PvP, which is my native race. Seems like whoever gets the upper hand right away, at least in my case, always was the winner, and it was never me.
Well, you know, it's a really interesting matchup. For the longest time, you only saw Ling, Baneling, Muta, it seemed like. There was very little deviation from that, and it really turned into a lot of Baneling and Zergling micro battles at the early stages of the game, which are a lot of fun to watch in certain contexts. However, after 2 or 3 years of watching the same thing, people have kind of gotten tired of it, and I think David Kim intentionally put in that Spore Crawler buff against Bio specifically to get people to do something other than Ling, Baneling, Muta. You still see it quite a bit, though, so we'll see what comes out of this.
Stoic David did a build that actually defeated MC in Game 1 of his series today. It was the 8 pool with gas straight away into just a lot of Zerglings, and it looks like Baldwin put his pool down a little lower, so David's going to have Lings pop out right now while Baldwin's pool is still only half done. He's going for a fast expand, so that's definitely going to get some damage in, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Baldwin now putting down a gas as well as his pool's about to pop. We'll have to see what he does when that pool pops, if he just goes to make a queen or if he actually makes some Lings here, because that's going to be pretty important.
Those Lings are coming out, and they are going to be hatching probably around the same time that those other Lings are showing up.
Yeah, it looks like
a little bit after.
Looks like David's speed is about a third done now, so he's going to have a big advantage on that. So if he can just not lose too many Lings until that speed finishes, he's going to have a real leg up.
But Stoic David is continuing to produce Zerglings.
Looks like a queen on the way for Baldwin as well. Is he going to have to cancel this hatch? What do you think?
It's not looking good. It's 4 Lings to... he's pulling drones now.
Heavy micro battles here. This hatch is gonna finish with the Lings here and the drones. It just depends on how many drones he's willing to accept losses of. Some nice mineral walking there. But,
yep. But there's nothing there to defend against those Lings, and now a queen is out, but the drones are not able to surround it. Queen's taking heavy damage, and it looks like it might. It actually.
Saved it. Just barely.
Yeah.
So Baldwin is going to survive with his hatch and his queen and several of his drones. If we look at the units lost tab, I want this one.
Now the Lings are playing Ring Around the Rosie on that natural expansion, and David decides he's going to regroup and try and pick off a Ling, but maybe just head out. No, it looks like he's waiting for the reinforcements, and they're going to head right back in. In the meantime, Baldwin is droning behind this. He feels comfortable enough to continue to drone during this attack. The queen does fall.
I'll be honest right now, I have no idea how I got this overlay up. So I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of it, but the Lings are going to be able to do some work on this hatchery again.
Yeah, that hatch is taking some heavy damage, and Lings are falling. They're just getting... Baldwin's Lings are getting cornered by David's Lings, and that hatch is definitely going to fall, and Baldwin has just kind of accepted it at this point. David's Speedlings come in, and it is important to note that they are Speedlings as opposed to Baldwin's, which are just Slowlings right now. Targeting those gas drones. Baldwin does have a little bit more Zerglings than David does, but again, those are Speedlings. Trying to bait one out.
Sorry guys, I'm going to go ahead and pause this game for just a second because I have got to get rid of this. And I was trying to bring up something else and I fat-fingered a key. And this particular unit's lost screen I am not familiar with how to get the heck rid of.
Was it Control R?
No, it wasn't Control R because that's the one I was going for, but I hit something else. Oh, that was not it. Oh, jeez. Nope. I just went back to the beginning of the game. Hooray!
Bear with us for a second. There's a few technical difficulties we're having here.
Go ahead and zoom back ahead to where we were.
Game paused. Game resumed.
So many hotkeys. I know, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this again. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this list here. This is a third-party overlay here, and it has several interesting and goofy overlays that are not the standard.
Well, that is a very cool.
So let's just let's analyze the units lost here while we.
I do like that units lost overlay though, because it shows you specifically what was killed and not just the resources that were killed. So that's really neat. If only we could figure out how to get rid of it when we don't want to look at it.
Oh my gosh. You're looking mighty fine tonight, Nick.
Why, thank you. You're looking quite dapper yourself. As a little bit sweaty, but that's okay.
Well, so, you know what?
To reiterate, you guys are tuned in to the StarCraft 2 Community Team League. We are experiencing a little bit of technical difficulty as we're trying to figure out what this overlay button is to get rid of that.
You know what? I'm just going to quit the game. We can just fast forward to where we were much quicker than we were before, because guess what? That's a new feature in the game.
That is a new feature. It's a cool feature, too.
Yep. So sorry for the technical difficulty, guys. Thanks for hanging with us. Why don't you tell them a little bit about what we're doing here while I'm loading this game back up?
All right, so this is the StarCraft 2 Community Team League. It's focused around teams in the community playing StarCraft, and we are doing a tournament that's going to be spanning a number of months. We're really towards the beginning of it. This is week number 4, and this is the first game of week 4. This is Gravity versus Eternal Dreamers, and it's a best-of-9 series. This is only the first game that we are looking at right now, or will be looking at here in a few moments. We apologize for some technical difficulties that we did experience just a moment ago. We did have to restart the game in order to fix those, but we should be back on track here in just a few minutes.
Absolutely.
In the meantime, big shout out and thank you to our sponsors, Das Keyboard. They are providing the league with 5 keyboards, which will be awarded to the winning team of the entire tournament. And so that's pretty exciting. They've also got some neat swag up for grabs for some of the notable players within the tournament. So they are really cool, and we really appreciate them sponsoring us.
I don't know, man. Speedy's in chat. He really wants to know how I got that window up, and I'm with you. I would really like to know also. But I tell you what, if you follow me on Twitter, I'll figure it out, and I'll let you know. So go out and do that. Follow us on Twitter, WingThatSC Gallegation. But I think we're ready to jump back into the game now.
Woo. We made it. We have survived. Are you sure this is a little bit before where we
Yeah, it is a little bit before. I went back because I was pretty damn distracted. So
I see that.
I'm sure we missed a few things. So we'll just go back a couple seconds here and go back. So
where we're at here is David is really hammering on this natural of Baldwin. You know, it's about ready to fall, and those lings are coming out, but they're disjointed from the other group of lings. 2 of them get picked off. The other 2 are running back up the ramp. He's decided that that is a lost cause. He's going to let it fall. There's just too many speedlings there, and they're going to run back into the mineral line. In the meantime, 6 more Zerglings in production for Baldwin, 2 more and a queen from David. And
what I meant to do before that is do this and show that he had killed 5 workers on that initial fight with the queen where the queen almost died. So not too heavy of drone losses, but this is going to be a standoff here with the lings.
Yep. One of those lings moving forward, trying to bait out the other lings. And this is just turning into a micro battle like we were talking about a little bit more earlier. This, you know, it's very common for ZVZ in the early game. A great mineral walk there, trying to get the surround on the lings. However, they're just a little bit too fast for those drones, so they're going to go back there, try to get some mining done, because you can't make lings without mining.
Yeah, I was just going to say, even if David doesn't kill a ton of drones here, he's basically preventing all mining of them altogether. So he's getting a huge lead from this, even if he doesn't kill much.
Well, the interesting thing, though, is that David is not doing anything behind this. There is no expansion. He just continues to make Zerglings, so he's hoping to lock this game up right here and now.
He does now make 3 more drones, so he is trying to transition out of it now, it looks like, going back to making drones instead of lings. But the damage has been done, so it'll be a question of if Baldwin can stabilize, be able to come back from this or not, because he, although it seems pretty even, Baldwin did put 300 minerals into that, actually 350 if you consider the drone, into that hatch that he lost. Now the queen gets surrounded again, the drone's trying to... Zergling, save the queen! Save the queen!
If you look at the units count, though, Baldwin is actually only a few drones behind David, just because he's made those Zerglings so heavily at the beginning there. Oh, now he just jumped up to 20 versus 15, so now David is definitely getting a little bit of a lead. Baldwin tries to counterattack, but David catches him in the middle of the map, and they are kind of running around in circles there. Baldwin getting a Baneling nest.
The Baneling nest is definitely going to be the changing factor here, as 2 Banelings are in production. As we find them, they're actually in production back in the main, so he's trying to defend against Baldwin coming back to push a swing against him after putting on so much pressure. But Baldwin is actually making drones as well, so he must feel relatively comfortable, as you know, to try and get back ahead, I suppose, as instead of just making all Zerglings.
Baneling nest is also in production for Baldwin, although it is way behind that of David.
6 Banelings headed into Baldwin's base. He's trying to split them up to get a little bit of splash around. 3 heading in, 1 trailing behind, with 2 behind that. Getting a nice surround on the drones, and the drones are going to take a huge hit.
And another huge hit. Baldwin's kind of split up a little bit, but he just doesn't have it going for him, and those queens get surrounded. 1 falls, the second one falls. Zerglings are getting cleaned up, drones are getting cleaned up. There's not a lot Baldwin can do here, but he is just trying to hold on for dear life. Does surround with the mineral walk on those lings, but they are running around like crazy speedies.
Baldwin has done some pretty amazing micro with his drones. Considering how much those drones have engaged David's Zerglings, you would think that he would have lost a lot more. I mean, he's only lost 15 workers, and that includes those insane Baneling hits.
Yeah, that's not bad. David has finally decided to put down a natural, deciding that if he's not going to be able to win right here, he's going to expand behind it a little bit.
Looks like this has got to be the end soon for Baldwin. I mean, if he can't do anything with these few lings that he has, which there's a high chance that he really can't, because there's queens, there's spine crawlers, there's banelings. He's just not... Oh, the banelings and the natural of David are going to try and pop here. It's like Baldwin gets out of dodge while he still can. Baldwin making 3 banelings of his own. He's just going to kind of...
get a little bit of damage on that spine crawler, maybe bait out those Zerglings, trying to stay away from the banelings.
I'm not sure how Baldwin can do this. Looking at the unit count, it's 10 Zerglings, 3 Banelings, to 23 Zerglings, and 4 Banelings.
Moving forward, and they all just explode in the center of the map. They're center of that, between the 2 armies anyway.
And that's Baldwin, a GG from Baldwin. Well, that was an awkward game for many, many reasons.
Yes, not all of them are.
That basically defines my experience with ZVZ, to be honest with you. It always seems like when I was playing, you know, and I was playing at a low level because I'm pretty terrible with Zerg, so whoever got Banelings out first or whoever got Mutas out first would have been the winner, essentially.
You know, it really depends on the control of the Banelings. If you can get them out at a reasonably similar time, then you can do a lot of damage with just one Baneling. It just has to connect in the right place. You have to deny the opponent's Banelings, and it's just really tough to do. It takes a lot of micro, it takes a lot of attention, and you have to macro behind that, or you're going to fall behind.
Absolutely, and it seems like I'm surprised I haven't seen as much with that Baneling, that early Baneling push like that. You really need the +1 attack upgrade to be able to kill drones in one hit, because as you saw when those Banelings detonated on those drones, it all took them down to very low health in the red, but it actually takes 2 Banelings to kill a drone.
Yep, it definitely does, but even doing a lot of damage getting them to the red
so I can
like
load
that.
up the next one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited about talking about these Banelings and Zerglings. If you can get those drones to the red, then the Zerglings can often clean those up and do a lot of damage there, or even if you're able to get a second one in. And you did see that David did walk in with 3 Banelings there. He was intending on one probably to fall to the Queen and the other 2 to connect. Only one connected in a big way. The other one kind of ran and tried to connect with some different ones. So, but ultimately he was able to pull that out, showing the greater control and potentially better build. They do say that Speedlings, 14 pool and gas beats the pool and expansion. Typically, if you're playing rock paper scissors,
which a lot of times it is, especially that early, because if you do a lot of scouting, if you're not in close positions, you're sacrificing a decent amount of economy or building by sending that drone out too early.
Yep, and a lot of ZVZ is won or lost in the early game, as we saw in this game here.
Absolutely. So just before we pop into Game 2, just a quick reminder, we want to say a big thanks to Das Keyboard for sponsoring the StarCraft 2 Community Team League by providing some cool swag and cool prizes for the winners, as well as winners of some cool achievements. Also, follow at SC2CTL on Twitter so you can get updates of the happenings within the league, what's going on. Also ask that you follow Wingnut SC and Galligation. We will be tweeting about what matches we're going to be casting each Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so you can stay in the know of what's going on. We'll be doing that every week through the duration now. We're in Pool Stage 2.
Yep, moving right along. And, some teams are starting to pull ahead than others, so it's starting to get a little bit interesting.